back to Motive Project Cars. Wanted to run through the mods, a list, if you will, and take a look at what I've done with the Mercedes-Benz C300 so far. You know, I was kind of surprised as I was writing down the things, and I did have to make a list, just wanted to make sure I got them all, as to how many things I've already done. So let's go ahead and dig in. First of all, we're going to start with probably the most involved, I would definitely say the most involved, and that is the grille on the front. Had to take off the whole front end of the car to do that. Gotta say, I really dig it. I think it just adds a bit of classiness and sportiness to the car. I think it looks awesome, and it was well worth the effort in doing it. Next up, unfortunately, is a failed mod, a couple of them, and that was a blacked out and a chrome raised hood ornament, the old style hood ornament. You know, I put this on because I really like this. You know, recently I had driven a late model Mercedes in Ohio for about 2 months, and I really liked the look of that emblem on the front. But the problem is the car has a great big Mercedes emblem in the grille, and I thought it looked kind of tacky to have that emblem sticking up off of the front. Even though I really like it, I just think that two together right on top of each other like that was just not a good look for the car. Next up, blacked out trim. You know, part of my goal in getting this car was to black it out. That's why I got black, for one reason. And there's a lot of chrome trim, or there was on the car. Starting down here in the front, we have this piece across the front here. That was chrome. Actually pulled that off and painted it black. And I went with paint, frankly, because I discovered I have no talent when it comes to wrapping. Wrapping is probably the better way to go, but for someone like me, it was not the best way to go. Next up was the chrome all around the windows, down here across the front and up here all across the top. Pulled all of that off and painted it all black as well. I do love the look. I think it looks much better on the car. I think it just makes the car look even sportier than it was before. Going around to the back, I also blacked out the trim that was around the exhaust area, and I'm talking about this here, all the way around the exhaust tips on both sides. Think that looks much better as well. Now, we have the exhaust covers. That was pretty simple mod. They just slip over the existing exhaust tips, if you will, just to kind of black things out back here. I love the look of that too. I think it looks a lot sportier on the car and gets rid of some of that chrome down on the bottom. Now, another failed emblem mod. If you saw one of the previous videos, I had blacked out this emblem. I replaced it with a black badge, rather. And I thought it kind of clashed. I thought it kind of clashed with this chrome piece back here. Still debating on what to do with this, but at this time, I think we're going to leave this piece chrome because I think it's kind of balancing, if you will, with the grille in the front. And I think the chrome emblem, even though it's chrome, looks pretty good on the car. Across the back, I put a spoiler on. This was a must. I think every car, for the most part, should have a spoiler of some sort on the back, and I think it just makes the car look even sportier. It was very simple to do. It's just an adhesive type piece, so it was basically just a peel and stick kind of application. Moving around to the sides, one of the most expensive mods I've done, I would say the most expensive, are the wheels and tires. This, my original plan was to go with 18s. That was what was on the car. But I had thought that there was a wheel, these particular ones, where I could utilize the OEM center caps. I discovered that did not work out. The holes or the hub size on these wheels was too small. The diameter was too small, so they didn't fit. Now, fortunately for me, these wheels did come with a center cap that had a logo that actually would have been held on with double-sided tape here in the front. Would have been the manufacturer's brand, if you will. those did not come already applied. So instead of putting those on, I actually ordered some custom center caps. I believe they came from Portugal, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it looks really good. I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that would probably think that was OEM. It's not, of course, but I love the look of it. Carries through the Mercedes badge, the Mercedes theme, and I am very, very happy with the look. As far as the size, I did end up going with 19s. That's as big as you can go on this car without any kind of rubbing issue or anything like that. I do think they look good. They fill out the wheel well a little bit more than the 18s did, but I don't think they're so big that it's comical looking, if you will. I've seen a wheel and tire setups before on cars, and sometimes they're so big it just does not look right. I don't think that's the case right now. Now, moving inside, and I haven't done a lot of things inside the car. Matter of fact, only two, and I wouldn't call them complicated mods, if you will. The first is the phone holder. Not really much of a mod. It just kind of sits on the dash. It's where I can put my phone if I decide to take, driving videos or anything like that. Plus, it is a good place to put the phone as opposed to slapping it down here somewhere in the center console area, particularly if you have a passenger and you both have drinks. Now you really have nowhere to put the phone. Very handy. It just has a light kind of tacky back to it, not really a tape or anything, so it stays in place and it's not going to fall down. Second item I've done, or second mod, if you will, is the center console tray. That's this right here. It just pulls out. Again, not a complicated mod. It just drops in. Pretty cool. I like it. Gives you the ability to store more inside the center console if you want. You don't have to have everything down there in the bottom rattling around, and I really like that. Next up, again, I guess there is one more on the interior. I changed out the lock covers, if you will. These were a real cheapo plastic. I think one of the areas where Mercedes really lets down the brand. It's a cheap, nasty looking thing. They just screw on. I pulled all those off and I replaced them with a stainless steel kind of more rounded, more, I guess, modern looking treatment, if you will. Really love the way that these look. I think they look good in the car. And of course, they match the rest of the silver bits and things that are on the inside. Now, back out to the outside. One more thing I want to mention on the wheels. I did go with aftermarket covers as far as the valve stems go. Just something black to black this out and to protect the stems a little bit. They are metal as opposed to the plastic type. I like the way that these look. The finish on them matches the high gloss color on the wheel. Pretty good look. Lastly, and of course, the simplest thing that I've done probably, although screwing on those caps was pretty easy, and dropping the trays inside, but are the channel stickers. Of course, as a YouTuber, gotta pub the channel, gotta have the brand on the car, if you will. So we have the Rob Motive sticker over here, and then a new one that I came up with, kind of a flame kind of thing, right over here. I dig these. I think they're pretty cool. I wouldn't put any more on the car, probably. I think if you go too much, well, then you become kind of tacky. Anyway, I just wanted to run through a mod list of the Mercedes-Benz C300 so far. That's what I've done. More stuff to come here in the future. Kind of kicking around whether I should do an exhaust or not, and maybe some other things. We shall see. Leave a comment. Let me know. What's your favorite? I'd be curious. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma. Lots of mods and things there. And Rob Motive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Lots of mods over there. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.